Hi there, welcome to English with Mamunali. Today I'm here to talk about some types of tenses and conjugation of verbs. In our daily lives, generally we use present simple, past simple, then future simple. Then we can use present continuous, past continuous, and sometimes we use future continuous. Then we can use present perfect and past perfect. Generally in our daily conversations or in our writing, generally we skip present perfect continuous, then past perfect continuous, then future perfect continuous. Generally we don't use them in our daily lives or in our writing, but for academic purpose we have to learn all of them. So today in this class I am going to talk about some of them, and I am going to talk about some conjugation of verbs. Now get started. See, on the left side I wrote down some structure of some tenses, and on the right side I wrote down some conjugation of verbs. At first let me read the conjugation of verb. See, from cause to short they have got same form, same pattern when they are changed into past participle and past. When they are changed into past form and past participle, their spelling are same. See, their spellings are same. There is nothing changed. See, cost, they are actually irregular. Irregular verbs are verbs that don't take d or ed at the last to make it past form or make it past participle form. Their inner vowel are changed. Their inner vowels are changed, but here nothing changed. See, cost. It is also, they are also irregular. They are also irregular. Now cost, cut, hot, late, put, short, and cost means to have a price. Next one, be careful about the sound, be careful about the pronunciation, the way I pronounce a word. I am trying my best to follow British people. So where, then o, then one. Again where, o, then one. Next one, swim, swam. Then steal, stole, stolen. Then throw, threw, thrown. It sounds true, not true. In my previous video probably I mispronounced. I pronounced true, but it would be true. Throw, then thrown. Then choose, then chose, then chosen. Then beat, beaten. This beat means to hit someone or to defeat somebody in the game or in the contest. Then got. You see, got has got another form, gotten. Generally it is used in American English. They use gotten. British people use got, but American people also use for past participle form gotten. Then read. Be careful about the sound. It is read. Its sound will be read. So read, and read. Although they have got same spelling, but their sounds would be different. So read, then lose. Lose means when you lose something, you don't find it. I have lost my keys. Okay, lose, lost. It is loose. Loose means that is not so tight. Okay, could you lose my pant? It is so tight. Okay, you are asking the tailor, could you lose my pant? It is so tight. So loosed. Although ed is added to lose, but sound will be ta, loosed. Okay, loosed. It is loose, lost. Be careful about the sound and be careful about the spelling. So again, lose, it is loose. Okay, then I wrote down some verbs over there. Contain, contained, contained. I wrote down ed. I wrote down in short form. There are some verbs that could take d or ed to make past form and past participle form. They are called regular verbs. So they are regular verbs. See, contain. Then past form contained. Only we have to add ed. Then past participle also contained. Contained, contained, contained. Then consist. Same. Consisted, consisted. Then possess. Then possessed, possessed. Okay. Then see the last one, concentrate. Concentrate. Concentrate means to give your whole mind to something or somebody. Concentrate. Concentrate, concentrated, concentrated. Ed will be added. Then develop, develop, developed, then developed. Okay, I wrote down in short form ed. That means it would be developed and developed. Now we can use them in different types of tenses. Now see, first one, present simple. See the structure, subject plus V1 in bracket S or ES, then in bracket object or extension. Sometimes you can skip object or extension, that's why I wrote down in bracket. You can take it or you can skip it. It's up to you. Okay, sometimes there are some sentences where we don't use object or extension, we use up to this. There are some transitive verb where we can use object and extension. Okay, if the verb is intransitive, there will be no object. That's why I wrote down in bracket. Now, if you see the structure again, subject plus V1 in bracket S or ES, present simple. If the subject is third person singular, suppose he, she, it, or any singular person, singular name, that time we have to add S or ES with the verb in present simple. It is already known to us. And what's called present simple? Present simple is a tense that simply when something simply happens in the present. So present simple is a tense in which something simply happens in the present. Okay, see the structure, subject, V1, then object, then extension. We have to use V1 form. But if we see subject is third person singular, he, she, it, or any other singular person, singular name, singular thing, that time we have to use S or ES with the verb. Now get an example. Suppose cost. It costs. It costs so high. It costs so high. Okay, it costs because it third person singular. That's why we have to take S. It costs so high. Okay, then next one, cut. I cut a mango yesterday. Sorry, if I make present simple, I cut a mango. I cut a mango. But if you would like to take another third person singular, suppose he, she, it, that it could be he cuts a mango, then she cuts a mango, then Rohim cuts a mango. Okay. Then what about swim? He swims in the pond. He swims in the lake. She swims in the lake. What about I? For other person, we do not need to use S or ES. I swim in the lake. You swim in the lake. Then we swim in the lake. They swim in the lake. Okay. We don't use S or ES with the verb. And what's the indication? There are some indication for present simple. Generally, we use this present simple tense when we see something happens normally, generally, habitually, or when we see something happens all time, there is nothing changed. When we see something is universal truth, when we see something is something is historical truth, that time we use present simple. Okay, and indication is generally in the sentence. Sometimes we can see uses of normally, usually, sometimes, often, all times, then etc. Suppose I often swim in the pond. I often swim in the pond. I usually swim in the park. Okay, then I usually wear a t-shirt. I often wear t-shirt. Okay, I don't usually wear t-shirt. Okay, see. Next one, past simple. See the structure: subject plus V2 plus object plus extension. Sometimes we can skip object or extension. That's why I wrote down in bracket. If the subject is intransitive verb, we can skip object. If the subject is transitive, we have to take object. Okay, and we can take extension according to our situation. That's why I wrote down in bracket. We can skip them or we can take them. So subject plus V2, we have to take subject then V2. V2 forms already we have learned. Suppose cost. This marker cost so high. This marker cost so high. See, there will be no change. It is not costed. It is cost. Then we can use another. I cut a mango yesterday. Then I wore a t-shirt few days ago. Then you swam in the pond on Tuesday. Then you stole a mobile phone from a mobile store or mobile shop. You stole. Then you threw the ball through the window. You chose the correct answer. You beat me yesterday. Then you got the answer. You read all of the books last year. Then lost. Yesterday you lost the match. Yesterday he lost the match. Yesterday they lost the match. Then loosed. You loosed the pen. It was so tight. You loosed the pant. You loosed the pants. Be careful when we use pants. It could be plural pants. Okay, because pants has got two sides. Okay, you loosed the pants. Okay, what's the indication? When we see in past simple, generally we see the uses of yesterday, then last day, last month, last year, then few days ago, few months ago, previous day, the previous day, or we see sometimes some uses of past time. Okay, past time. Suppose in 1988 I was born. See, I used past simple. When we see there is time of the past or there is in past time, we can use past simple tense. And when we see there is mention of yesterday, last month, then previous day, previous month, etc., that time we can guess it would be past simple. Then we can go to the next one, future simple. Future simple. Oh, let me tell you what's called past simple. Past simple means when something happened, when something simply happened in the past, it's called past simple. Then future simple, when something will happen simply in the future, it's called future simple. See the structure: subject plus will, then V1, then in bracket object or extension. Suppose I will do my homework, you will do your homework. I will get admitted into Cadet College, you will get admitted into Cadet College, they will get admitted into Cadet College. Then they will watch a movie, I will watch a movie, you will watch a movie, he or she will watch a movie. See, there will be nothing changed. Sometimes we can take shall for I and we. For I and we can take shall. But nowadays in modern English we can skip shall. Nobody actually use shall nowadays. That's why we can skip shall. We can use will every time. Okay, so future simple, what is the indication? Indication is sometimes we can see there is uses of tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, then any future time. Okay, any future time in the future. That time we can guess it would be future simple. Suppose I will visit Thailand tomorrow. I will watch a movie tomorrow. I will visit my relative's house day after tomorrow. See, when we see tomorrow, day after tomorrow, or any future time, that time we can use future simple. And be careful about the structure. Now, present perfect tense. Present perfect tense means what has happened just now, but there is still result. What has happened just now, but there is still result. See the structure: subject plus have or has, then V3, then object, then extension. Subject plus have or has. When we can use has? When we see subject is third person singular, suppose he, she, it, or any singular person, singular name, singular thing, that time we have to use has. Otherwise we have to use have. Suppose he has done his homework. She has done his homework. Then it has worked properly. Okay, now I have done my homework. You have done my homework. You have done your homework. We have done our homework. They have done their homework. Okay, we can use this way. So when we see subject is third person singular, that time we have to use has. Otherwise we have to use have. Okay, so what's the indication? What's the indication? When we see that something, when we see there is uses of already, just now, then not yet, then ever, etc. So we can guess it would be present perfect tense. Suppose I have already done my homework. I have already watched the movie. I have already washed my clothes. I have already washed my clothes. So we have to use V3 form. V3 form means this form. See, this form V3. V3 means past participle form of the verb. It could be irregular verb, it could be regular verb. Okay. Then past perfect tense. Past perfect little bit confusing, a little bit tricky. Past perfect is that happened in the past, but actually here two things or two works or two actions occurred. Here two actions occurred or happened. So in the past, when something happened earlier, then something happens later, then something happens later. That time we can use past perfect tense. Suppose I had done my homework before you came. See, here two things happened or two actions occurred. I had done my homework, it is one action, and you came to my house. So I had done my homework before you came to my house. So here two actions happened. You came to my house on thing, and I did my homework. But when we see something happened before something happens, before something else happened, that time we have to use past perfect tense. See the example, see the structure. Subject, then had, then V3. In bracket object or extension. Then see, there will be some uses of before and after. When we use before, that time first part should be past perfect tense, and the after the before it would be past simple. But when we use after, before the after it would be present past simple, and after the after it will be past perfect. Again, I am making it clear. Past perfect tense two things happened. In the past perfect tense, generally two things happened. One thing or one action happened earlier, another action or another thing happened later. So when something or some action will be some action occurred earlier, that tense would be past perfect tense. And see the structure of past perfect tense: subject plus had V3, subject plus had plus V3, then object or extension. And there is there are some what is called, indication. There are some indication how we can recognize it is past perfect tense or not. When we see two things happened in the past, and when you see there is a uses, there are uses of before and after. When you see uses of before and after, we can get it would be past perfect tense, and both works or both actions occurred in the past. So now we can give an example. Suppose this one. You had stolen the mobile phone before the police caught you. So again, if I take stolen, you had stolen the mobile phone before the police caught you. See, before the before part we have to use past perfect tense, but after the before we have to use past simple. Okay, and but when we use after, suppose the police caught you after you had stolen the mobile phone. The police caught you after you had stolen the mobile phone. Okay guys, now before finishing my lecture I would like to repeat it. See, the first one I wrote down some conjugation of verbs. You can memorize all of them, and you try your best to study a lot of conjugation of verbs from your book, from your grammar book, or you can study online. Okay, just you have to practice them, and you can use them in your writing or in your speech. Okay, the more you will be able to use them in your speech, the more your hesitation will be removed. Sometimes when we use them in our speech, sometimes we get stuck, sometimes we make a mistake, sometimes we misuse them, sometimes we misuse them. So that's why we have to be habituated in using them. Okay, see the present simple, the structure is subject plus V1 in bracket S or ES, then object plus extension. Okay, present simple indication was when we see something happens normally, generally, habitually, when we see something is universal truth, when you see some schedule or some schedule or some fixed routine, that time also we use present simple tense. And indication is in the sentence we can see uses of often, normally, usually, habitually, etc. Okay, then past simple, when something happened in the past is called past simple tense, and there will be some indication of yesterday, last day, last month, then the day before yesterday, then any past time. Then future simples, then see the structure of future simple, when something will simply happen in the future, and there will be some indication, suppose tomorrow, day after tomorrow, or any future time. Then present perfect tense, when something has happened recently but still there is a result. How can we recognize them? When we see the uses of recently, then already, just now, yet, not yet, Eva, etc. Okay, then past perfect tense. In past perfect tense, two things happened in the past. One thing happened earlier, another thing happened later. So when we see two things happened in the past and one thing happened earlier than others, that time we can use past perfect tense and see the structure: subject plus had plus V3, then object plus extension. But if we see uses of before or after, that structure little bit will be changed. That structure will be changed. See the first one. When you use before, the before part would be past perfect tense, and after the before part it will be past simple. Then if we use after the after part it would be past perfect, and before and the before part or the earlier part would be past simple tense. Okay, past simple tense, and it will be past perfect tense, and here it will be past perfect tense and it will be past simple tense. So guys, try to not get confused. Okay, if you get confused, it will be harder for you to make sentences on your own. Okay, so if we know the different types of tenses, and if we know the different types of tenses and their uses, then we will be able to make some sentences on our own. If we don't know the conjugation of verbs, if we don't know the types of tenses and the structure of them and the uses of them, it will be harder for us to make some sentences on our own. So practice it at home, practice it with your dear neurons or with your friends. Thus you will be able to enhance your ability to speak in English properly, or express your thought properly, or to write down something in your exam copy on your own when you see something is unknown to you. Okay, sometimes we can see in exam there are some paragraphs, some compositions that are totally unknown to you, totally unseen to you. But if you have got some idea about them, and if you know the conjugation of verbs, and if you know the structure of the tenses, it will be easier for you to make up something on your own. That time no need to memorize and no need to help of others. Okay guys, it is the all for the time being today. See you in my next video. Have a good day. Bye bye.